Explain the hair.
What?
I know a woman looking to shake things up when I see one.
As predicted.
You two understand the criminal mind.
Testing our skills is unnecessary.
You aren't happy in London.
You don't shoot the suspect.
Just because I'm American does not mean that I love guns. Why are you being so nice to me?
Not always nice to you.
Where else to tackle a case so important?
Someplace where there's a working toilet?
Voila.
Elementary begins May 23rd.
Okay, boys and girls, welcome to our next week, the week beginning with May 18th. As we move into our second week in our study of film adaptations, I wanted to make sure that you understand what we're going to do this week and kind of give you a little bit of background on some of the elements that we're going to be studying. This is a continuation of our Unit 3, where we are looking at different modes of communication and how each of these modes provides something different for the audience. Sherlock Holmes is a character that was created by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle in 1887. Over the years since then, the character has been so popular that he's been portrayed in a variety of ways on from the big screen to the small screen, as you just saw a trailer for Elementary, which is another depiction of Sherlock Holmes as a TV show. We are actually going to be taking a look at what directors and filmmakers and screenwriters have to think about as they try to adapt a written story for the big screen. Some of the elements some of the biggest elements that they really want to consider is how the characters are going to be portrayed, the mood of the scenes and how they're going to create that mood, the point of view. When you are writing a book, you have a narrator that can narrate the events. You don't usually have that when you're watching a movie on the screen. So a director or a screenwriter has to think about how they're going to provide that information that would normally be provided as a narrator. They need to think about audience appeal. Book authors have to think about this as well. Screenwriters need to think about it a little bit differently, because an audience that is going to watch a film on the screen expects different things than what a reader expects from a book. Last week, we read The Adventure of the Speckled Band. That story was originally published in 1892 by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. The film that you are going to watch this week was produced in 1931. So as you can see, there were quite a few years that passed from the writing of the original story until the production of this particular film that we are watching. Audiences would have changed in those years. That was about 40 years. A lot changes in 40 years. So what I want you to think about as you're watching this is what changes would be necessary for a story in order to appeal to that kind of change in audience. And as you think about that, and as you watch this particular film adaptation this week, I'd like for you to look for these specific kinds of changes that the director and screenwriter may have intentionally made when they created this film. Changes in character portrayal, in the use of audio, lighting, and film angles to create mood. Is the necessary background information being offered to the audience without the use of a narrator? And differences in culture for audience appeal. As I already said earlier, 40 years past, there would have been differences in the culture of the audiences at the time that this film was created. So the director would have had to consider that as well. Your discussions this week, you should be prepared for both digital and live discussions. We will once again have a digital discussion beginning on Tuesday, with your initial posts being made that day, and then responses being made on Wednesday in order for that discussion to take place. And then on Thursday during our synchronous sessions, we will have a live discussion as well with some different questions. If you choose not to attend the synchronous session on Thursday, there will be a journal entry which utilizes one of the discussion questions. So here's the pacing for your week. Today, Monday, you should be viewing this presentation to get your preview of the week. Then you will continue the tutorial for film adaptations. You should have stopped on slide 19 last week, so you should be considering, you should be continuing from slide 19 this week. Tomorrow and Wednesday, you'll continue the tutorial and participate in the digital discussion. Please make sure you post your first post on Tuesday so your post is there for your classmates to read and respond to on Wednesday. Please also make sure that you do read your classmates' posts on Wednesday and respond to at least 2 of them. On Thursday, you have your choice day again. You can choose a journal entry, which, as I said, will use one of our discussion questions. You can choose to attend our synchronous session and live discussion, or you can continue with extra work in the tutorial or Admentum if you need that work. If you choose to attend the synchronous session, please make sure you have read the story and watched the film adaptation, since we will discuss those specific changes that were made for adapting the story to the screen. On Friday, you will take the mastery test for film adaptations, and that will be your end of week assessment for this week. So this week's assessments, you will have 2. One will be your digital discussion, as it was last week, and then your Friday assessment will be the mastery test. Once again, if you have any questions for me, please send me an email. Sign up for a session with your parent during my office hours or attend my synchronous session. And remember, this is self-paced. Limit yourself to your 30 minutes each day. If you fall behind, that's fine. Just please make sure that you do send me an email if you complete assessments that are in the grade book late after they've already come due, because I generally grade these assessments and put them in the grade book within about a day after the due date. So I won't know to return and look for your assessment if you don't send me an email. If you would like your grade updated in Student View, please let me know if you complete things late. I look forward to seeing you this week during our synchronous sessions, and good luck.